The Cardinals fall in the season opener to the University of Redlands, but look to bounce back on their home turf against Bethel University. Before you head to Benedetti Worley Stadium, there's one place you need to be, right here on the Red Zone. Welcome to the 2011 season of the Red Zone. I'm Mark Dahlquist. With me is head coach John Thorne. Coach Thorne, not the outcome the Cardinals or Cardinal fans were hoping for this weekend as the Cardinals fall to Redlands 29-35.
Well, it was very disappointing. We came back and went ahead with just a small time left and just couldn't quite hold them, and so they scored. And it's always, there's a certain amount of it that's always fun when you see how excited the other team is and how excited their fans are to beat us. So we're really glad that we got back from California without too many injuries.
The Red Zone packed its bags and joined the team in Redlands, California. Let's go to the highlight. Palm trees and mountaintops with a backdrop for the Cardinal opener at University of Redlands in California. Brad Crackle and Chad Hurst at the helm for each team. Cardinals strike first, already up 3 in the first quarter. Crackle finds Kyle Fedorowicz from 15 yards out. Cardinals jump out to a 10-0 lead. The Bulldogs looking to get on the board in the second. Hurst complete to Mark Richardson. He jukes a couple of Cardinals for the 25-yard gain. 2 plays later, Hurst finds Richardson again, this time in the end zone. Bulldogs on the board, trailing 13-7. Cardinals get the ground game going on their next drive. That ends with Tassio barreling in from 4 yards out, 19-7 Cardinals. The same duo again for Redlands. Hurst hits, you guessed it, that's Richardson with the grab. That would set up the QB keeper from 6 yards out. Redlands takes the lead 21-19. Cardinals keeping it on the ground, this time to freshman Ryan Kent. He bounces off a Bulldog on his first carry ever at NCC. And 2 plays later, he gets his first grab and he makes it a good one. He dives for the end zone. Cardinals back up 26-21. But Hurst goes right back to work. This time it's Taylor Irwin. Redlands back up by 2. On the Cardinals' next drive, it's Brad Crackle who says, I'm keeping it on this option. Rumbles 19 yards to set up a Cardinal field goal. North Central up by 1 late. Hurst looking downfield on the ensuing drive, rifles it through the middle to Irwin for a 17-yard gain. He's looking for Irwin again, and this one falls incomplete, but a flag on the Cardinals gives the Bulldogs a first down. Cardinals had 10 penalties on the day, none bigger than this one. And the Bulldogs make the best of it. Richardson again with the reception, brings it all the way down to the 5 and gets the crowd into it. Chad Hurst takes his cue of hero, willing his way into the end zone against the Cardinal defense, and put the Bulldogs up for good. Cardinals drop the opener, 29-35. Coach, you guys had a defense last year that was ranked 3rd in the nation. What are you guys going to do to get the team back to last season's form?
You know, the system is very, very good. It's going to work, but we have a different team. So it won't work exactly the same as it did last year. So we're still in that feeling out process of finding out exactly what things this year's players can do and what things they can't do. You know, in coaching, if you ask guys to do something that they physically can't do, you're asking for failure. So we're still experimenting with some players and with some of the scheme, and we want to start figuring out exactly what positions to put them in so they have the best chance to be successful. And so as the head coach, it was my fault that we won or that we lost out at Redlands, and this week it'll be the kids' job to win against Bethel, and I think they'll do that.
Were there things that Redlands was doing differently in the second half, that caused them to put up the 28 points?
They probably did make some good adjustments. I think They gained a lot of confidence. They had a 97-yard drive in the first half where we just couldn't get things stopped. And I think they, went back and probably looked, hey, listen, we threw this, we did that. And so they came out, and we just weren't able to get our guys to go exactly where they needed to go. They can do it. It's just that particular day, we weren't doing it. So the offense did some really great things, but 4 times out of 7 in the red zone, we had some mistakes and ended up having to kick field goals to score touchdowns. And so we got to quit doing that also.
Talk about the offense a little bit. You guys returned your top rushers from last year, but now you throw freshman Ryan Kent into the mix. He had a nice game at Redlands, scoring or rushing for 36 yards and averaging about 6 yards a carry. You guys going to try and utilize him more in the offense?
Well, he'll be in the mix. We like to use 3 running backs quite a bit. I think we even used a 4th one in this last game. But we went into the game without our starting right tackle, and when Connor Oney gets back, we'll be even much more strong at running the football, and we'll have that depth since Greg Whalen just has a full game under his belt, and he really did, for a sophomore starter, a very, very nice job. We need to get the ball out of the hands of our quarterback just a little bit faster, and he's getting, Brad's doing a wonderful job of getting better every single practice. That was the key thing, that the Redlands quarterback was very good, and it makes it really hard on your defense when he gets in rhythm and the ball's coming out in a hurry. Our defensive lineman did not get a chance to get pressure on him, and their receivers did a really great job of settling into the little creases, and he delivered the ball very well.
You still got some good returners in the secondary, Josh McLeod for one. What are you guys going to do differently to try and stop that passing attack that Redlands was able to utilize so well?
Well, we might have stopped it had we not got called for 4 pass interferences.
That was rough.
In the same quarter, on the last 2 drives. So getting back to the Midwest and having the guys, we're used to what the officials in the Midwest call pass interference, and it seemed like it was a whole lot different when we got out there. So we just got to work harder on making sure we're doing things the way it's supposed to be done. And the guys have got to get to the right spot at the right time.
Well, the Cardinals are accustomed to running away with victories, last year beating opponents by an average of 31 points. This week it was a little different, and that's the focus in this week's What's the Word?
Not every game is going to be a 40-point win, and those aren't even that much fun. We live for these games, and we just got to come out and win these games. And this is an experience, and then we'll build from this, and this will only help us down the line, especially in the playoffs.
We're supposed to be able to compete against adversity. We expected to face adverse situations while we were here, 2,000 miles away. We can only blame it on ourselves right now. There are times where we showed, some light in this adverse situation, but it just didn't turn out our way.
I think it's just shock and upset real bad right now, but I think it'll open our eyes for the next few weeks and realize that we need to pick it up bad, because we need to go undefeated the rest of the way right now.
It is a week 1 game. You're going to make the silly mistake.